Hello and welcome to the return of Alltalk Watches Twin Peaks. This is episode 15, where we watch the first two episodes of the new season of Twin Peaks. I am Mr. X, and who else is here?
Kevin.
And Totoro.
So that gum I liked came back in style, you guys.
Hey-o!
Is it the future, or is it the past?
Man.
I can't even believe this is real.
I know. I thought we were done doing Alltalk Watches Twin Peaks, and now here we are.
Yeah.
It's
I said at the end of it, I don't know if you guys heard me when we did that last episode, I said, I'll see you again in 5 years. Did you guys not catch that part when I said that?
I think you're leaving off at 20?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you might be leaving off at 20.
Well, I've aged quite well in that case.
Is this the past or is it the future?
I tell you what, man, I'm really glad that this actually happened. So
me too.
I think we need to kind of kick it all off with saying that. There were a lot of times where kind of leading up to this where it seemed like this just was not going to happen, like where it sounded like there were budgetary issues, or maybe David Lynch wasn't getting the type of creative control that he wanted or needed.
He even left and then came back at one point.
Yeah, I heard like one of the actresses was mad at him too, and the man from another place is real mad at him.
Oh, really? I didn't. So the man from another place is Michael J. Anderson.
Yeah, that's why he was recast by a tree.
And then Lara Flynn Boyle is not in this at all.
But James was always cool.
Oh, James always has been.
So I want to start by saying that in the absence of Twin Peaks, there have been a lot of weird shows lately, like Legion and American Gods, but they seem like normal, just mainstream shows in comparison to this.
Well, and I don't know if you watched any of the stuff, like any of the ads leading up to this release of Twin Peaks, The Return. Like, I think there was a so we recorded the regular podcast on Sunday afternoon before everything kicked off, but before that on Showtime 2, they were running what I have to assume was the entirety of the series leading up to that 9:00 premiere of the new one. But like they would have these interstitials in between the episodes, and they would say things like, before thrones were played, before men were mad, before they got lost, and kind of referencing all these other different, event TV shows.
Yeah.
Peaks were twinned. Wait, no. Or no, I think they said there like something about it being wonderful and strange, and it is still wonderful and strange.
I feel like strange isn't strong enough a word. Sorry.
Oh yeah, it is so weird. But are we sure that this show isn't based on the restaurant Twin Peaks?
I feel confident in saying that is probably not the case. I've never been to one, but
it's your basic Hooters clone.
I don't know. That first episode, maybe.
I wouldn't put anything past David Lynch. So should we get into what we thought of the episodes, the premiere?
Yeah, and so we're even though they released episodes 3 and 4 on the on-demand app and the Showtime app, we're only covering the first 2 episodes. So we're actually going to be doing them kind of as they quote-unquote air on Showtime.
Exactly. So because the premiere was the first 2 episodes, we'll be covering the first 2 episodes in this episode of the podcast. Normally, it'll just be 1 episode per episode.
So yeah, what'd you guys think?
Okay, when it first started, I had no idea what was happening. But by the end of the premiere, I think I got a good grasp on what's going on. Sort of.
Oh, well, that's good. At least someone does.
Okay, you see, there was a doppelganger.
Yeah.
I mean, I understand the Cooper aspect of it. I have no idea what was going on with that glass cube and the thing that appeared.
In the tree.
Yeah. Well, the tree is the arm, which is a man from another place, and he said this is his evolved form?
Yes, yeah. Okay,
The
so
tree,
I always
is
I always forget that the man from another place is the evolved form of Mike's missing arm.
yeah, and now it's a tree with a tumor with a mouth on it. It's like a baby tree with no leaves. A dead tree, maybe.
Captain Dead Tree.
And then the dead tree had a doppelganger, just like Cooper had a doppelganger, which makes me think that the doppelganger isn't Bob, that it's someone else entirely, because there was that phone call that I don't know what should we call doppelganger Cooper.
Well, I've been calling him Cooper Bob.
But I don't think it's Bob, because there was a phone call and it said once you go away, all we'll be left with is Bob, or I'll be back with Bob again.
Well, but because I think he's like Mike is somehow channeling through Philip Jeffries and from the Black Lodge, because he will have separated himself from Cooper in order to be with just Bob.
Okay.
I don't know if that makes sense or not. I don't even know if that's true. I'm just trying. That's the other thing. When we talk about some of this stuff, we're trying to reason some of it out.
Yeah, and the evil Cooper is just going around murdering people
and banging Jennifer Jason Leigh.
Yeah,
that's the other thing with this being on premium cable. They can get away with a lot more.
Yeah, like the two that were watching The Cube.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I don't know who
faces got like torn to shreds. It looked like.
I don't even know. I sat up. Because I was laying in that scene. I was laying down watching it, and I just sat up and I was like, "What the fuck?" Like,
I know that was
just
nuts.
Happened?
There was a ghost thing that burst through the glass and then turned into like a tornado, and then it was like the Tasmanian devil, like Taz, like. Yeah, imagine that now going to town on their faces. Their faces looked to me like there was blood going everywhere.
Hamburger.
What even is the Cube, though?
I don't know.
Oh god, this show.
And then,
I feel like
Cooper showed up in the cube, and then he was like going back and forth, and then he was falling. And you guys, I'm worried about Coop.
Yeah, no, yeah. We need Albert Rosenfield to show up.
What was the the tree doppelgangers line before Coop fell through the floor?
Non-existent.
Yeah, so maybe Coop is no more, and all we have left is evil Coop.
No,
I don't think so.
You guys, I'm worried about Coop.
I like Log Lady, although it bummed me out to see her because she passed away earlier last year.
Yeah, there are a number of actors and actresses that have passed away, like Pete, Jack Nance.
Yeah.
And Miguel Ferrer. But I'm pretty sure I saw like previews where Miguel Ferrer is in this.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's.
Oh, guys, Andy and Lucy. Oh
yeah,
I was cracking up. I missed that so much. You know, he has the same birthday as Marlon Brando.
Andy wanted to name him Marlon.
Which Sheriff Truman?
One is fishing and one is sick.
I assume Truman had a son or something.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. That's a good question. Well, I mean, that's the thing. Well, see, and the other thing is that the guy who played Sheriff Truman is not going to be in this, as far as I'm aware, because he is retired.
Oh, I did not know that.
Evidently, you can do that when you're Canadian. You can actually retire.
Also, I had to look up in the early. I didn't realize that was Ashley Judd.
Yeah, there are a lot of people who are in this that it's like, oh wait, I didn't quite recognize.
Well,
yeah,
it's more,
that's where okay.
Her face has changed a little bit over time.
What did you guys think of the Horns, the Horn brothers?
Oh well, I love the fact that that they put in the stuff about Washington having legalized marijuana.
Yeah.
Well, weren't they doing that like illegally in the first season? Like they were going over to Canada and shipping it in?
Was that pot or was that something else?
I don't remember what it was.
Something.
Yeah.
Like heroin.
It fits the character.
Yeah. Well, and heroin may be like a little too on the nose. Like with some of the opioid stuff going on in the country right now. Which, I mean, it would be completely. I wouldn't think that Lynch would shy away from that.
Okay, favorite scene was at the apartment with the lady, the lady that was telling him about the smell in the other apartment.
Yeah. Oh, do you think she's out of town? I'm supposed to water her plants.
I have her key.
Yeah.
That whole exchange was great.
I knew it was coming, but yeah, it was great.
Yeah, it's a debate between that scene and the scene with the tree with the tumor on it, which is my favorite scene.
Yeah, I'm still trying to. There's so much here, and it's like it's kind of like trying to relay a fever dream.
Yeah, that's a good way of putting it.
When and especially when you don't understand exactly what is going on with the fever dream, and you know that there are definitely going to be parts of it that are extremely pertinent, but then there's some of it that's just there as kind of like a whimsy factor.
I'm waiting for 430. After that was said, I was like, oh shit, I gotta watch out for this. Nothing yet. But I know it's coming.
So is Audrey in this show? Because last we saw of Audrey Horne, she was in a bank that blew up.
Oh, I forgot about that. Well, she was not at the Bang Bang Bar with Shelley.
And she wasn't at the
lodge with her dad and uncle.
Probably not, I would think then.
And I've heard that actress say some things about David Lynch.
That was Sherilyn Fenn. That wasn't.
Oh, that wasn't her.
No. I mean Sherilyn Fenn. I'm trying to keep some of the actors and actresses straight because Lara Flynn Boyle played Donna Hayward, and I'm pretty sure, like, she was originally upset at David Lynch because she thought the show was going to be more around her because she was Laura Palmer's best friend.
Right.
But then I wonder if something happened with Sherilyn Fenn, who played Audrey. I don't know. We could probably look this up, but
where's the fun in that?
Let's just speculate.
Yeah, exactly.
But I know the actor that played the man from Another Place really does not like David Lynch anymore, and he hates Twin Peaks. He said some things. I'm trying to think of where to go to next. There's just so much.
There's too much.
Well, and there's, like I said, that's one of those things that it's like trying to parse out. Like, so there's something that's gonna, like this. I don't know what's going on with this South Dakota plotline with Matthew Lillard. Where, I mean, that obviously is going to be something huge.
Probably Bob, right? He's Bob. Bob was in him, and he didn't know it.
But if Bob is currently inhabiting Cooper,
unless Cooper is not Bob and he's just a doppelganger.
Yeah, could be that. Because he said, I feel like if Bob was Cooper, because D. Cooper had made the point of mentioning, like, yeah, I'm supposed to, when he was killing whatever that girl's name was. He's like, yeah, I'm supposed to go back to the Black Lodge tomorrow, but now I gotta kill that fucker, whatever his name is. So, like, he was planning on going back, it seemed like.
It seemed like he wants to get out of it. Like, he doesn't want to go back. He's having too much fun. And by the way, it was kind of crazy seeing Cooper with the leather coat and the long hair and everything.
And almost like looked like he had been using bronzer.
Yeah.
Oh, big time.
Wow. So I, not being one to leave anything. So I was trying to I looked up why Michael J. Anderson, or like what the deal with him, who that's the man from Another Place. Evidently, he accused David Lynch of being a pedophile, rapist, murderer.
Sounds like he's on good terms with him.
So he's definitely going to be in his next movie.
He's been in a couple of David Lynch movies. I wonder what happened that made him. I wonder maybe he just went crazy.
Whoa. Okay. So you know how. Okay. So Pete, the guy Jack Nance who played Pete. I'm thinking Michael J. Anderson is unhinged because he accused Lynch of orchestrating his death. Like, he died like trying to break up an altercation on like New Year's Day in the early 90s. or at some point in the 90s.
Yeah, it sounds like he's kind of unhinged.
1996. Okay, I'm sorry. It's December 30th, but it was like right around that. But yeah, that's kind of it's kind of wild.
Did you guys notice that maybe 5 minutes of both of these episodes combined was in Twin Peaks?
Yeah, there was a lot of stuff that was in either the Black Lodge or in South Dakota.
Or New York?
Oh, right. I forget. I keep forgetting that that box is in New York.
Or
That
Vegas?
first, yeah, there was something in Vegas, I think. But that
Yeah.
first scene in New York, when the camera is panning up to the building, I really like the way that scene looked.
That shot was, when I saw that, I was like, this is classic. Something that only
It looked like a model almost, like a model set.
I kind of thought that it looked like almost like a dolly zoom, but like they used a drone somehow or something.
Right.
I don't know. It was super cool looking.
It was. It looked really good. And I don't know if you guys noticed this or if I'm imagining things, but it seemed like whenever there was a scene and then it would fade to black, you would see the shadow of what was there remaining there for like 2 or 3 seconds before it moved on to the next scene. I don't know
I
if you
don't
guys
quite recall
noticed
noticing
that?
anything like that. No.
It could just I don't know. I saw it on. It could just be my TV settings are weird, but yeah, I don't know if that was intentional.
Yeah, I would say that almost anything in this is going to be intentional.
Everything in this show is intentional.
Now, whether or not there's a good reason behind it, that's something else.
I mean, no, not in the past. Not everything in Twin Peaks was intentional.
Well,
The
yeah,
first
Bob,
appearance of Bob was not intentional.
right? But I think at a certain point, like especially with some of the stuff that he's done since, I feel like at a certain point though that everything became intentional.
Yeah,
Like that would be like cross-fading stuff like that. That would be a bit odd to not be intentional. You know, having someone inadvertently in a mirror that's decidedly unintentional but fortuitous.
yeah. The way that like some of the Black Lodge, I don't want to call them deaths, but like when Laura Palmer was there and then she was like went away, and this camera went all crazy.
But
That was some David Lynch stuff.
yeah, well, and I think some like to me like the Black Lodge is still one of the most terrifying things that I've ever seen.
Yeah.
It's just completely unsettling.
It's just so freaky.
There's definitely like an element of, for me personally, where like I definitely get vibes of Kubrick from that, especially how something like Jupiter and Beyond the Infinity,
I could see that.
like the ending of that where Bowman ends up in like seeing himself in all this kind of crazy crap. Like that stuff always freaked me out as a kid. It still freaks me out, but it's like the whole turning around and not being sure of where you are, kind of that disorientating field. That's I keep getting the vibe from that.
What are the odds David Bowie filmed some stuff for this before he died?
I'd give close to 10%. I don't think
I
it's very
feel like
likely.
nothing. Yeah, I'd be very surprised. I wouldn't think so.
It'd be cool because of the Fire Walk with Me stuff.
It would be, but I wouldn't expect it.
I'm kind of wondering where the show goes from here. Does it continue with these storylines? I mean, obviously it's going to continue, but is it going to start focusing more on Twin Peaks?
Is Heather Graham gonna be in it at all in this? Do you know?
How's Annie?
Yeah.
How
is
is
Annie
Annie?
okay?
Annie, are you okay?
Annie?
Are you
It's
okay?
been a question going on for decades now.
Is that what that song is about?
Yes.
Smooth Criminal is about Twin Peaks?
Yeah. MJ knew before the show even came out, and he's like, I gotta write a song about this.
So what you're telling me is Twin Peaks is about that song.
Maybe. Yeah,
Speaking
I'm
of
curious.
song, I like that song at the end of the episode.
Oh yeah.
The band playing out?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That band is called Chromatics.
The song is Shadow, right?
Yeah, I Shazammed it.
Man, speaking of music, that intro music.
It's iconic.
It's still just it's so perfect for that show.
It is. I will say that in these first 2 episodes, though, there's not really a lot of the Twin Peaks humor. There's some, but there's not much.
Like I feel like the
But
major example of it was the interaction between Ben and Jerry.
and the lady at the apartments.
Yes.
Well, I wonder if there's going to be as much as there was. Because, if you think about it, I wonder if, like, because it was just on regular network TV before, kind of had to add some levity to it where, Lynch normally doesn't have that much comedy in, like, all of his stuff. Like, think about how Dark Fire Walk With Me was.
Well,
That's true. Although there were some deleted scenes from that were hilarious.
I mean, I wouldn't expect. I feel like there may not be quite as much as the original series maybe had, because he can, now that it's on like Showtime, he can get dark and like not have to worry about some network head being like, nope, we can't put this on TV. Like he could get real dark.
well, I think they're really itching for something that is like big appointment television. The way that, because I think if you think about it, here in a few months, couple months, this is going to be going head to head with Game of Thrones.
Oh shit! Why? No. Why?
That's nuts. Who would watch Game of Thrones over this?
I don't know. A crazy person.
I'm very curious how many people are watching this fresh without having seen the original series, because watching this, like, I'm confused by it like everything now. I can't even imagine someone like coming into fresh being like, what is going on?
I mean, that's what I was like for the majority of these episodes, and I've seen all of Twin Peaks.
Exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
I've watched it twice and like got caught up on like a few of them leading up to that, and it's like, holy crap, there's so much about this that I do not remember. Do you guys really want to know what Annie, are you okay?
Wasn't that about like a neighbor of a friend or something?
Okay.
Wait, are we talking about the song?
Yeah, a Smooth Criminal.
Yeah, Michael Jackson saw like an altercation.
Okay, so I'm just gonna read straight, because this is, I mean, I think we're kind of done, because it's like, we wanted to come in, get things kind of kicked off a little bit, and just give initial impressions.
Maybe help the brain process.
Yeah, maybe talk through some stuff. So the song is played in the key of A minor. Jackson's vocals span from G3 to E5. It has a moderate tempo of 118 beats per minute. The refrain of the song contains the phrase, "Annie, are you okay?" This is a phrase used in cardiopulmonary resuscitation training courses, and Michael Jackson is known to have taken a CPR course. Riscusi Ann, otherwise known as Annie in English-speaking countries, is the name of the mannequin commonly used in CPR training. As part of the course, trainees are taught to say, "Annie, are you okay?" to the dummy in order to check that the patient is conscious and responsive. I don't know if that's like what it is.
Well, either way, it's a pretty bomb song.
The Alien Ant Farm version is surprisingly good too.
Surprisingly, yes. Yes, it is.
Okay, so we're pretty much done now, right? I mean, we could probably keep going for another 2-3 hours.
I'm just trying to even remember what happened.
And we just watched it like within the past 24 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's so much stuff.
It's just so... Oh, yeah, that show is just so much to unpack. I can't even imagine if someone just, like, back-to-back watched the first 4 episodes. Like, I almost want to get my little notebook and a pen with me to just write stuff down as I watch it.
Well, the log lady had stuff to say about Coop, and then Hawk went and tried to find Coop. And he found the entrance to the Black Lodge, it looked like.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's definitely what that was.
Wasn't there another... What about Coop's partner? Did he die? His old crazy partner?
Oh, Wyndham Earl?
Yeah, did he die? Is Wyndham Earl going to pop out of that thing?
No. Probably not. I don't know.
Oh, man. You're gonna make me look this up.
No, it's okay. It's probably better if we don't know.
Yeah, actually it is. But what you were saying before, I just avoided every single thing. I saw like a poster for the show before it came out, and that was it. Because I was like, I want to know nothing. I want to see nothing.
The good news is you could have watched all of the trailers, and you still would have known. It showed nothing.
Yeah.
There was no coffee or pie in this.
Yeah, it was mentioned. Coffee and pie was mentioned by Log Lady.
Yeah, but there wasn't any in the episode.
Coffee and donuts was also mentioned,
well,
but none shown.
But that was because they were going to go through all of that stuff, and Hawk was going to bring the coffee and donuts.
But where are they?
I don't think we even mentioned the opening scene with I forget his name, but the doctor with the 3D glasses.
Oh.
Yeah, Dr. Jacoby.
Yeah, he was receiving tools, it looked like.
Shovels.
It seemed like a bunch of shovels. Yeah, just a bunch of shovels.
And the camera angle made it look like he was being watched by someone. At least that's what I got. That's what I took from the scene.
I could see that.
Because of how far away the camera was, then it was like half of the vision was obscured by a tree.
Yeah, I could see that. That would make sense. That wouldn't be too surprising if that were the case.
He's being watched by Bobby Briggs.
You done me wrong, Bobby Briggs.
I can't believe we have the new season of Twin Peaks, and one of the first returning characters we've seen is James. Everyone's favorite, James.
Well, he was always cool.
The last we saw him in Twin Peaks, did he get in a motorcycle accident? Is that why they had that line in there?
Yes.
He had a motorcycle accident, but he's still cool.
Yeah.
James was always cool.
Yeah. From what I recall, that's the case, yes.
Okay. Does he think he's younger than he is? Does he have the what happened to that lady? Can't remember her name either.
Shelley?
The one with the eye patch who thought she was young and was a cheerleader.
Oh,
yeah, Nadine.
Oh, yes. Oh my god, I forgot about her.
Has her condition been put onto James? So I kind of got the impression that he thought he was younger than he was. I could have been reading too much into it though. It's difficult not to read a lot into everything. When you're watching David Lynch, I'm always going like, what does it mean? Is this important?
I feel like all of it is, but who knows?
It's weird. Last time we did Alltalk Watches Twin Peaks, I had already seen it, and I believe Totoro had.
Yeah.
And the other people on the podcast had not, correct?
Darvox had. I think Dakazu and I were the only two who had not.
Okay, so now we're all on a level playing field because no one knows what is happening right now. And it's going to be this way for the next, 4 months? 5 months?
Well, it's 18 episodes. I think
first weekend in September, the 3rd, I believe it is. September 3rd, I want to say I saw, was the finale.
It's crazy how many episodes there are.
18. Yeah.
I hope we have more to talk about by then.
I think we will.
Maybe.
I mean, I feel like there's more that we could talk about in this.
Oh, there's definitely more. But who knows what it is? I feel like I need to drop some
security guard that disappeared.
Some
and
acid.
Why did Coop show up in the cube when there was no one around? And did the cameras catch it? And why were they recording that box? And they're recording them all on SD cards that they're keeping in a little styrofoam thing.
But whose box is it? Why? Who's this billionaire?
I assume it's the military.
No.
Because
the guy said it's some billionaire or something.
Was it General Briggs? That just happened to be at a military station that happened to be at the entrance to the Black Lodge?
Project Blue Book.
Exactly.
Are Tracy and the guy okay?
Are they okay?
Are they okay?
Are they okay, Tracy and the guy?
I don't think they were struck by a smooth criminal.
I don't know what they were struck by, but it did not look pleasant.
But then they were back like 20 minutes later.
No, that was just that scene. But
before they were,
when he met her out, yeah, and the guard was missing, and then Coop showed up in that period while they were out in the little lobby.
Okay,
yeah,
before they started boning.
I don't know that they got that far into it.
No, I don't think they did, unfortunately.
God, whatever.
Yeah, Coop was there when there was nobody in the room, and then when they came back in the room, he was gone. And then he was falling through space? But I don't know.
No one knows.
What about Matthew Lillard and his wife, and
Well,
the guy and the other guy?
Okay, well, I feel like that's pretty obvious that he is like somehow set up and his wife is like in on that somehow. I don't know how, I don't know why, but it really feels like somehow someone is setting him up.
But she's dead. Now.
Yeah, she's dead.
Coop Shatter. No, sorry. D Coop.
Were
Shatter.
they talking? Was he talking about Matthew Lillard? Was he the guy that he was saying he was going to have to kill in prison?
No. The other
Who was
guy
he talking about?
that betrayed him.
Who
That was
betrayed
with
him?
I don't know, the girl? The guy with the girl? Who he killed?
No, but the other guy, that guy was dead, but he was talking about he had to take care of somebody else. Wasn't he?
I don't know.
Wait, was he trying to call Philip Jennings?
Maybe? And why does he still have an FBI computer that didn't exist back, in the early 90s?
Because Philip Jennings is the name of, I'm sorry, Philip Jeffries. I was going to say, because Philip Jennings is the name of the character from the Americans. Philip Jeffries was David Bowie.
So he was talking to David Bowie?
He was looking for David Bowie.
Oh, so who is he talking to? That's the question.
So he needs to kill Bowie? Maybe Bowie is in it.
I want to get your hopes up. Just saying.
I'm not. Besides, his Bowie's character could be recast by a tree with a tumor on it.
430.
All right, I'm gonna wrap this up now, I think. Thanks for listening. If you like it, share it with people.
Keep circulating the tapes.
Yes. Like it on iTunes. Rate us on iTunes. Leave a review. That'd be cool. On Stitcher. Zune? Are we on Zune? Is Zune still a thing?
I think a Zune is only a thing for Star-Lord.
Well, he's a cool guy. I hope he's listening to this. I also listen to Comic Conspiracy, Geekbox, Good Job Brain, Comedy Button. Am I forgetting any? It's been a while since I've done one of these.
Yeah, our main podcast, Alltalk.
Oh yeah, you should probably listen to that. And Manga Machinations.
If you're into that sort of thing. Which I can't see how there's any manga that is any weirder than this.
I can't see how there's anything weirder
Did
than this.
David Lynch write any manga?
He should. That'd be kind of cool.
Then I have to read some manga. All right. Thanks for listening. See you next week.